So my dad took a flower arranging class so that when he gets the flowers, he would be able to arrange them so that my mom can take a picture for her WeChat moments. Dedication.
That is pure dedication. Yeah, no, if James did that to me, he would probably give me a macaroni, a piece of paper, and a bunch of glue and say, have at it.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tea and Talking, our Valentine's Day special. My name is Kelly.
My name is Amy.
Hey, ouchies. So today we're going to be having tea and talking through Zoom, and I'm going to be doing 2 teas today, Valentine's Day themed teas. So this one is my Sakura Sencha, which is Japanese sencha tea with cherry blossom petals. And I'm putting it in a glass, and I'm going to be having it grandpa style, and I'll show you guys how I'm going to do it. And then I'm going to be using our brand's Golden Life tea, our rose black tea. And this one is extra special because it's infused with rose oil while the rose petals are still fresh. So I don't know, it's so fragrant. I love it. And there's no filter, so technically you should be doing it with tea that's a little bit more whole than this one. This tea is very broken and there's little bits here and there, but it's also really pretty for if you want to enjoy something that has a bit of a color to it. Like this one, there's flower petals, and then you can really enjoy it while you brew it grandpa style. So that's something you can think about. Definitely don't try it with really low end teas. Nothing against it. It's just, you're going to get a lot of particles in your mouth. It's not ideal grandpa style. And then our signature rose black tea. It's so beautiful. Okay, this is not this is not proper etiquette, but I'm gonna show you guys. Look at how big the leaves are.
Oh, yeah, every single time, it's so sad. Every single time I'm at home and I'm making tea for everybody, like going through the Gong Fu style of tea that we usually have, whenever I'm with my family, I'll take the piece and I'm like, look at that. Look at that. That is fresh tea right there. Like, do you see how beautiful this tea leaf is? And then after I pour the hot water in and it opens up, I'm like, do you see that? Is that chopped? No, that's fresh right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I go into this entire spiel with them. Is that good tea? I'm like, yeah, you dang right, that's good tea.
And what are you drinking, Amy?
I'm actually just having simple, plain white rose tea. And the reason why is because I actually felt like I normally don't do sachets, especially since we've been doing it's the regular white rose. But today I really was in the mood for white rose, but I didn't have any loose leaf white rose. So I was like, you know what? It's fine. I have the sachets of it and I might as well use it because they aren't that bad either. I mean, sometimes we want to get into the whole which one's better, the bag teas or the loose leaf. And honestly, they're all tasty. It just depends on where you get it from.
And this is authentic porcelain from Jingdezhen. So I don't know, these are hard to find. These are really hard to find because there's so many counterfeits and we have a direct relationship with the factory. So if you go on goldenlifetea.com, you can actually pick one of these up yourselves. And we have different ones and different price ranges. But this one's obviously my favorite, the bamboo. It helps you protect your hands from the heat. Otherwise, I would be crying right now because this is really hot. And you can get 20% off with code Amy20 or Kelly20. So
hey, there you go.
All right, so let's get started. So today, Amy, we're gearing up towards Valentine's Day. I know we have different opinion towards Valentine's Day. So yeah, I guess we should start with our significant others because we each have one.
I'll go into saying how I met James then. Oh man, my tea got cold. Good thing I have hot water.
How we met our significant others. So.
Yeah, how we met our significant others. I'll try and keep mine short because mine actually spanned off a little bit. So, believe it or not, I hated James the first time we met. Yeah, I didn't like him at all. I was living in El Paso at the time, and I met him when I was attending college there. And I'm sure you guys know is UTEP because it's like the only college there. So if I say El Paso, y'all are going to know anyways. So yeah, I was at UTEP. And it was I transferred colleges because of rifle shooting, because of NCAA stuff. And I ended up becoming a SAC rep on my first semester there. And that's when I started talking to a couple of track people. And then that's when I met this one kid, Tommy, and James was there too. So Tommy and James, they asked me a few questions regarding rifle, and James specifically asked me questions. And in the middle of our conversation, when he asked me how rifle is and me describing it, he literally just like, not even kidding, he just literally panned his face in the other direction and walked away. In the middle of
middle of your conversation.
He asked me a question and I'm answering it, and he literally like doesn't even say anything. He literally just walks away, like turns his head and walks away. It was so awkward. And Tommy, his friend, was just like, "Don't worry, I'm listening." And I was like, okay. So I kind of like finished.
Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, like he understood like what just happened. Like he saw the entire thing. He's like, "Don't worry, I'm listening to you." So I was like, okay. So like, not James, Tommy said that. So anyways, that was really weird. And then I was just like, forget this kid. Like that was extremely rude. Like I'm very old school. So when I see a gentleman, he's a gentleman. That was by far completely different. And then it was like 2 months later in October, I was friends with a couple of track athletes, and I was like, "Hey guys, I'm actually going to be participating in a zombie 5K. I kind of want someone to participate with me, and I want someone to train with me." And so I was asking a few of my friends, and they're like, "Oh, we're busy, we can't, like our schedule is rough." And they're like, "Oh, how about you ask James?" And I didn't know who that was because I didn't know his name. I totally forgot. And like it's been like 2 months since I've seen this guy. So I was just like, I don't know who this guy is. And so I was at the MAC, which is the, where we all study, all the athletes study together. They're like, "Oh yeah, James, come on over." And I see his butt, like I see him walking over to me, and I'm like, no, I don't care. And I literally flat out said right in front of him, I don't like him and I don't want him to and then he's like, "Oh, come on." And he tried like charming me up. Like, "It's okay. Like, well, I can help you out and coach you. Don't worry about it." And I was like, this is like completely different attitude than what he was before. So I told him flat out, "Okay, I'll train with you as long as we're not alone together." So I said that we always have to be with someone because I didn't want to be alone with him. So that's exactly what happened. It was him and our other friend, oh my goodness, Carnell. So it was Carnell and James. I was training with the both of them. And it was about for a week. And then the second week Carnell actually started doing some side work stuff. So he couldn't meet up. So it was just James and I alone. And I was just not giving him the time of the day. I was just like, train, bye, like, see you, that's it. And then finally there was one day when I was really, really hungry, and I was like, screw it, like, "Do you want to head to Taco Bell?" So we went to Taco Bell, and I was like, you know what, this guy is actually really cool, because it was the first time I was actually having conversations with him, not like lifting here or working out here. It was actually full-blown conversations. So we hit it off really well. And so fast forward a week after that, I was just like, you know what, this guy's really good. But I told him that I flat out was getting at the tail end of a relationship already. So I said, "Hey, listen, I still like somebody, and I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I still have somewhat feelings for this person, but I'm starting to like you too. So if you want to hit this off, then we can, go together." But I wanted to be straightforward with him, because I knew he was somewhat of a rebound, but I felt bad. And the first thing he says is, "Don't worry, I just broke up with my ex-girlfriend too, and you're definitely a rebound." I was like, wait, what? So yeah, we were each other's rebounds, if you will. And James always gets mad, but 7 years later, here we are.
Wait, it's been more than 7 years. Oh no, it's been 7. Oh, hey, what's good?
Yep, what's good?
Amy and James. James is in the other room, by the way, you guys.
Yeah, I hope he's not listening to this, because every single time I tell the story, he's always like, well, to be fair, I was dating someone at the time, so of course I'm not going to listen to you. I'm like, then why?
Of course, I'm gonna dip in the middle of a conversation, turn around, and walk away, and that is perfectly socially acceptable. Yeah, James.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, we're both calling him out. Hey,
I am.
James. Hey.
So, how did you meet John?
I met him. Well, the thing is, I was thinking about, it was funny how you mentioned the rebound thing, because I was thinking like, well, I kind of don't want to do that either. And for me, because it's been I think it's been a couple of months of me just being single, but I was happy. I was so happy being single. And I honestly didn't want anyone to get in the way of that. But I'm just trying to be honest. Like, I had no heart, I had no soul. I didn't care about anything or anyone, because I knew that for the most part, they didn't care about me either. So it's fine. It's all good. Don't hate the player, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But he made it very clear from the beginning that he wanted something more than what I was willing to give. And I flat out told him, like, yo, no, I'm not going to make this an exclusive thing, because I'm not ready. I still want to be on my own. So like, he invited me, I feel so bad. He invited me to a lot of things, and I ended up just saying no, because, you know, I didn't want to do relationship things. I was very cold. Like, I'm the kind of person that's usually cold in the beginning of a relationship. And like, I feel like a lot of people kind of like the challenge. I don't know, but I don't do it on purpose. I genuinely don't like anyone until I kind of get to know them. So over time, I thought that John, he would just kind of back off, because, you know, clearly we didn't want the same things, right? Like, I didn't want a relationship and he wanted one right off the bat. But then he still talked to me. He continued, and he said, like, well, I'm just going to wait until you're ready, but I still don't want to lose this. So he really respected my boundaries, and he really made it clear, but he still like remained like firm in what he wanted, and he made it clear to me. So there was a lot of communication going on back and forth. And eventually, when I was ready, he was still there. So that's how we ended up getting together, even though I was like texting so many different dudes. And
So did you meet him on like a dating site or something? Is that why, like, that's how you guys started talking?
oh yeah, no. So so by like texting a million different guys, yeah, it's just dating app, where it's more like, because I know, Amy, you're not too familiar with dating apps. That's why I feel like I should explain a little bit to you.
Yeah, thank you, because I don't.
Yeah, if you don't mind. Because there's different dating apps for different lifestyles, and I was texting so many different people, not because I genuinely wanted to see them, but because I actually needed to know whether or not like these people are real, whether or not these people are even looking for what I'm looking for, or if they're like Nigerian princes ready to scam me out of my money. I don't know. You get a little
Yeah,
bit.
no, I definitely understand that, because that's how I feel. I heard about Tinder when I was in college, but very briefly, and then it just started kind of turned into one of those memes. And then I found out about another site that instead of dating, it's finding friends. So it's just finding like-minded people. So I don't know any of these sites. Friends.
Finding friends.
What?
Yo, if you catch your man on a friendship app, no.
Side story, Kelly and I have been wanting to put James on, well, I more so. I've been wanting to put James on a dating app just to
He doesn't
see
even
who
want to be on there.
just to see who would like actually like that. And I would text the girl like, girl, walk away. He ain't worth it. Oh, it's so bad. No, I was kidding. James is actually a really good guy. He is. He's a good guy.
But she's like, low key, I wonder if you'll get any matches.
Yo, really?
Anyone else sees what I'm seeing in you?
But it's so bad, and like I obviously have never done it, and I probably won't do it. But it's the thought that's just really funny to me. I'm like, I wonder who would.
I think part of that is because you're kind of curious about it, because knowing that you guys met 7-ish years ago, that means that you were in you were in the relationship before dating apps really became a thing. There was no Tinder and Bumble, whatever. By the way, don't install Tinder or Bumble, like do better. But no, there was none of those apps, and your outlook to dating is so much different than what it is now. And that's not saying that one is better than the other, or it's just different periods of time. I think our culture also changed so much because of dating apps too, and I feel like people don't really notice that.
But I wonder if that was a subtle segue, because our next topic was actually our favorite dating. Was that meant?
Exactly.
I don't know, because that was really good segue.
Let's pretend I did that on purpose. Actually, no, it does make sense because now that the culture changed so much, our way of dating, our methods of dating is also very different.
Yes. Absolutely.
Also, you guys comment your favorite dating apps. I've actually don't use Tinder or Bumble. Let me know if there's any dating apps that's better than the other. I mean, I'm not.
I heard about Christian Mingle. No, I was kidding.
Farmersonly.com is Farmersonly.com.
Oh, that's so funny. Okay, anyways, yes. So that was actually going to be the next thing, because we first wanted to let you guys know how we're with our significant others, like how we met. And then our next one would be our favorite dating. And it doesn't even have to be with our current significant others. We just wanted to say like what we liked. And to Kelly's point, it is true. I don't know how this whole social dating works nowadays. I don't know how it works, because I have I was kind of with someone like online, another shooter. So I was with this person for about 2 years after college, but it was all online because he lived in another country. So you can't exactly, it was long distance. Yeah. But we knew it wasn't going to work out because of just it wasn't just the distance. It was the fact that we were very focused on shooting, that majority of our conversations was about shooting. Like, okay, what are you working on today? Like, what position are you going to practice on? What ammo are you using? Like, did you change your sights? Did you change your butt plate? All of these things. And it's just, so it just became more casual, and it just changed from there. So we knew that we liked each other, but not so much. So when I got with James, it was still, there was dating sites existed, but you actually had to, it wasn't apps. It wasn't any of that. I think dating apps were just barely becoming a thing, which is why James also makes the joke. He's like, dang, Amy, like you got me hook, line, and sinker. Like I could have been, he's like, I could have been a hoe in college and you didn't allow me to.
I could have swiped 100 girls and have them all say no, or just not swipe me back. And he never kind of understood how that felt like. I'm sorry. It happens to all guys. I'm not trying to diss him. I'm just saying it's a different experience for men.
Yeah, it is. It definitely is. I mean, I can't even say anything, because my brother and my sister-in-law, actually both of my brothers met their significant others on dating sites.
Oh, I did.
And both of them are married now. So I can't even say, that's why I'm not going to say anything bad, because I think dating apps are awesome. I think dating sites are awesome, especially in the world where we're just constantly on a go. I think dating apps are so cool. So honestly, if I wasn't with James and I'm trying to find a new person, I would use a dating app or dating site and then meet from there, because it is true. Like, how are you going to try and find time? And personally, I don't want to find my significant other at a bar. I don't want to find them at a club. Like, that's not where, but usually that's how you meet people. You don't just go to a grocery store and be like, hey, like, you look great. Like, let me start dating you. Or like, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Because so nowadays people think because it used to be a little bit more socially acceptable. I'm glad you mentioned that, because I was thinking about that a little bit while you're saying it. Like, people used to just go and talk to people at the grocery store, but now if somebody tried to do that, it would be something like, ew, so creepy, or like, oh my goodness, that's so strange. But it wasn't strange 7 years ago.
Yeah, it wasn't. That is true. It's changed. But like back then, like my parents, they met at a park.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't just go walk up to somebody and be like, hey, like, not nowadays.
Yeah, it's not normal. It's not considered normal or socially acceptable anymore. It's really.
Yeah, that's why honestly I think dating apps are awesome. I think dating sites are so cool, especially because you don't have to deal with that mess of like going to a bar. Like I don't even drink that much. I'm not a big heavy drinker. I'll go out with like Kelly and I will go out, but it's usually randomly and it might be to a club, but we just enjoy dancing. And half the time we don't even dance with other people. We just dance with each other. So
But most of the time, girls, when they go out, they don't go out for the purpose of meeting someone. They're just out to spend time with their friends. Like, I don't think I've ever gone out with the intention of meeting anyone new. I think I've
fair
only
point.
gone out with the intention of interacting with people I already know. And
Yes.
anything more, I won't acknowledge.
Yes,
But I think
that's
that's
actually a
most
really good fair
girls. I
point.
think that's a lot of girls.
Yeah, because
It's
guys, they
hard.
go with
Yeah,
the
it's
intention
hard.
of doing that. I know
You
some
gotta
girls
shoot
that
your
meet with
shot.
the intention of meeting someone, but it's rare. But anyways, so on to dating. Yeah, so since if I was early in a relationship, I would probably say something different. But because James and I have been dating for so long, I would say my favorite dates with him at this point is actually our game nights. We haven't had any recently because it's just been so hectic and busy, but in the past we would actually say, oh, we would wake up in the morning and be like, okay, like let's just do like the bare minimum cleaning just so the house is somewhat clean, and then we'll just schedule times. So like from this time to this time we're going to play a card game or a board game, or we'll play a video game or something like that, and we just like game all day. And then maybe towards the end of the night when we're really tired, we'll either play a horror game or we'll watch a movie together. But most of the time it's the horror game. But I love those nights. I really, really enjoy those types of dates because early on, like Kelly and I already had this conversation early on. Um, when you're dating someone, it's kind of like, oh, like, let's go out and do this. Let's go out and do this. Let's go out and do this. But in the long-term things, it's the little things that count. It's the small little things. So being the fact that it's busy all the time,
Yeah.
the game nights force us to actually pay attention to each other and be with each other and communicate. And our phones are away. The only time we get our phones involved is when we're playing Magic and we're like looking up like the rule book. Yeah, the rule book. We're like, oh, like that doesn't count, or like this counts. That's the only time we're on our phones. But other than that, we just enjoy each other's company, and then we just make jokes, and then we'll like snack on food all day, or we'll make food and then just go right back into gaming. It's a lot of fun. So for me, my favorite dates is game nights. So Kelly, what's yours?
I actually did something similar because of the snow. We actually got snowed in on Monday because it was such a huge storm that they declared an emergency. So we were just trapped inside all day, and we were eating the groceries, we were eating the snacks that we bought at Misua, and then we just played horror games and fighting games. My favorite one is this Resident Evil 5, the Mercenaries one, where it's split screen and then you can play with somebody side by side. I know his split screen is super annoying, but you kind of get used to it. Yeah, so I really like that.
So funny. I love how you did mention that the split screen. I'm not like Kelly and I had like probably I don't know like a 40-minute conversation about like how games have changed in the split screens and all that.
Yeah.
I love how we're on the same page though with game nights, because
Yeah,
that's
I really
so
like
true.
game
It's
night.
nice.
But for me, I guess my ideal date, I like being taken out places. So I feel like even if the relationship progresses a lot, I still need to have that. You still need to be able to take me out somewhere. It doesn't have to be anywhere expensive, but I still like to be taken out. I guess you could even take me like to the park or not like not to the mall. I guess I don't really like walking around shopping. Because I know my boyfriend, he likes shopping. He likes going to the little boutiques.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, Kelly's definitely she definitely likes like the I don't know, not the outdoorsy things, but just the fact that you can roam and explore. She loves those types, right?
Yeah. I like hiking. I like outdoorsy stuff a lot, actually. I just prefer it to be more outdoors than indoors, just because that's the kind of person I am. Like, I don't like being indoors so much because I work from home. So anything that's not like trapped inside a house is good for me. But that's because of my lifestyle. Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually very true.
Yeah.
I know, like I wouldn't say, because once again, I'm still sticking that game nights are my favorite. But in terms of going out, James and I love going to water parks, and like we just like going to Six Flags. Like we do water parks and we do theme parks and stuff. Anything with roller coasters or and like whenever I go to Hurricane Harbor, I just go around the lazy river, which honestly is really sketchy. I'm not gonna go down that rabbit hole because
you guys know why it's sketchy.
Yeah, it's her. Yeah,
you see the South Park episode? Yeah, it's sketchy.
Six Flags in general is not sketchy. So
sketchy,
especially here in Jersey. I don't know how it is for the other Six Flags, but our Great Adventure is. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole. Let's go on.
There's like an extra layer to it because of Jersey.
Yeah, so I'm glad.
I love how we each have our own Six Flags stories with Amy. I know James has a few select stories with Amy, and I have a few. And then me and James together, we have a few stories with Amy. They're all Six Flags related. It's really fun. I'm sorry, Amy.
I completely forgot about that. They always bring it up. We'll have another conversation about it. But just point is, I get into a lot of it's Jersey, so I'll say situations. I get into situations in Six Flags with other people, and it's very funny.
Yeah, I was gonna say polite disagreements. Like I had your back on that.
Yeah. That
polite disagreements.
You'll just have your. It's like a gravitational pull of psychos.
Something about the adrenaline brings out the ratchetness in people. I don't know. Yes. Maybe it's a Jersey thing. Maybe not.
Yeah, maybe. So, anyways,
it's just the Jersey thing.
I can talk about.
Oh, but you know, Six Flags is a great date. It's such an amazing.
It is.
Date.
It's a lot of fun.
I'm happy you mentioned the water park. Yeah.
Yeah. Like definitely. Me and the lazy river all day long. Seriously, I will literally, if I can find a stupid floaty.
I can't relate because I can't swim, but I'm gonna live vicariously through you for the water park.
Dude, it's like 3 feet.
I can't swim. I'm gonna drown.
You're like 5'4".
I'm gonna drown. I wish I was 5'4". I'm 5'3". What's up, Amy?
You're sounding like April now. Okay, so anyways, because I swear we're gonna go down a rabbit hole. We're going off too many tangents. So our third one was unconventional gifts for Valentine's Day.
What are you getting your loved ones for Valentine's Day? I know what I'm getting my loved ones for Valentine's Day. You think I'm gonna skip this part? Never. Ruby black tea, and the one I'm showing you, rose black tea. Oh my goodness. Tea is something that's so slept on, you guys. I know that for the most part, what's really romantic for Valentine's Day, a lot of people like the charcuterie boards, cheese and wine. And why is cheese and wine so romantic? It's because you get to explore these different sensations. So for me, I actually prefer tea. And that's not just because I'm lactose intolerant, but because I actually, like, for me, the teas, it's so aromatic. You can fill an entire room with one bowl of tea. And that's something really romantic because I love the smell of roses. I always like getting dozen roses. And this is just another way to enjoy rose. Not to mention that rose is super good for your skin. It's incredible for your heart health. And our rose tea is different because we process it with fresh rose petals. So the rose oil, so the oil is what gives it the scent and flavor. So the oil combines with the tea leaves, and that's what gives it a unique flavor that's different from other rose teas.
Yeah, because it's rolled into the tea.
Absolutely.
Into the leaves, I should say.
And yeah, so I really needed to talk about rose black tea because it's the perfect Valentine's gift. It really is, no matter what gender you are. But you're not gonna go out and buy a guy a dozen roses from the bodega. It just doesn't make as much sense, right? So that's something.
I know my boyfriend likes flowers and chocolates. He likes all that stuff.
Wait, he likes flowers?
Yeah, he likes flowers and chocolates and stuff.
Oh, he likes receiving flowers? Oh yeah, that's yeah, that's really cool.
But like,
that's different.
Because there was one time as a joke, I actually got him a bouquet of flowers. It was random. I think it was when I was working at Lowe's and we got an entire bouquet and I got him some. And he's like, these are actually mad nice. I was like, what?
That's so cute. You
Yeah, so you
guys,
like them.
normalize getting flowers for your man. Yeah, the flowers. I actually didn't think that guys would care about getting flowers. It just never crossed my mind. But you know
Yeah,
what?
neither did
It makes
I.
sense.
And here I was trying to play a joke, and I was like, wow, I feel like a butthead because he actually likes them, and I was trying to play a joke. So
Oh,
I was like, oh wow, like
that's really sweet. You know, that reminds me, that's actually my second one, because I wasn't just gonna give you guys a plug to our brand as a gift idea. That would be such a douchey thing to do. No, a second gift idea that I suggest anyone can make for their men, because men are supposed to, like, it's socially normal for men to get gifts for the women, like chocolates, flowers, jewelry for Valentine's Day, right? I just noticed that in the American culture, there's not so much of a pressure or even much of an incentive for women to do anything in return. And I think that it's something that we can think about doing. Getting flowers for our man is something that you might want to consider. I think it's super sweet. It's very unconventional for sure. But in Japan and in Asia, actually, it's actually common for the women to give something to the men. I think it's either shortly before or on the same day. But I think you can't buy it in the store. You have to make it by hand. That's what's normally done. So even if you're not good at baking, you kind of have to get yourself out of your comfort zone. And it's just something really sweet that you do to kind of impress your partner. And I really like that. I think we should normalize it in America as well.
I think that's cute.
Yeah.
I do. Oh man, I was trying so hard to think about the unconventional gifts because I went a little bit literal here, really, really literal. And I kind of cheated. I went to my boyfriend and I was like, what do you think is unconventional? And he's a guy. So the first thing he was just like, oh, as a present, like conventional or not, like, you know, pretty much inappropriate things. And I was like, you're dumb. Like
inappropriate things like
here.
steak well done.
Yeah. There you go. Thank you. So I was like, no, I'm not going to say any of those things. That's so silly. Like, no.
No.
But
no
he did mention
well
one thing, and that's pretty, because he said a USB. And I was like, oh, you know what? Instead of a USB, yeah, because he lost his other USB. So he's like, you know, I really want a USB. And I was like, actually, that's a really good idea. So I switched it over. And I think a really good unconventional gift for guys is a hard drive. Because how many times has your PlayStation or your Xbox like ran out of space, or even your computer hard drive ran out of space because of all, like, nowadays gaming, a lot of the things are downloaded, or even when you're downloading pictures or music or anything like that. And hard drives, it's like, depending on what the size of the hard drive is, it could be ranging from $50 to even $100. So it's not something that they're willing to get on their own unless they really have to. So as a random gift or even a birthday gift, a hard drive is good.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, right?
No, if you think about it, that makes a lot of sense, because I actually buy hard drives every year, because every year they come out with new and improved designs.
Yeah.
Now there's a 1 terabyte USB that's like this big.
Yeah.
I don't remember that. I'm saying,
like, I was like, that's a really good idea. And honestly, even though I'm not a guy, a hard drive for me is amazing because I have the same issue. I download games, I play games just as much as the next person. So I think it's cool. So anyways, that's a gift for a guy, although you can get it for a girl. I'm not trying to be sexist at all either. And then
I would love that.
Yeah, right? Cool. And then the one that I thought of for a girl, and I know this is going to sound silly, but for me, it would make a whole difference. I would want to walk into a clean house and a cooked meal.
Preach.
Like, preach. I know that sounds so, but because a lot of the times people can argue about gifts. Like, some people don't like the idea of giving gift cards and money. Some people want tangible gifts, and some people like gifts in the more accepting way. What is it? We spoke about the love connections. Oh no, maybe we didn't. We have to discuss that, actually, the different ways of loving someone. Well, we
The
can talk
five
about that another
languages
time.
of love.
Yeah, we can talk about that another time. But so anyways, there's different forms of giving gifts. And for me, I definitely do like my tangible stuff. I like the physical, materialistic things as much as the next person. But it goes a long way to know that I won't have to clean the house. I won't have to do the laundry, or I don't have to change the cat litter and completely clean it out, or I don't have to clip the cat's nails. Like, I don't care, whatever it is. Like, just help me clean and give me food, feed me. That I will be so extremely happy if I came into a clean house and it smelled of food.
Ooh. It's the gift of peace.
Yes, so peaceful.
Oh,
I would love
man.
that. So those are my two unconventional ones: hard drive, clean house, food.
I always wanted my partner to make something for me because my boyfriend is good at getting gifts, that's for sure. But making something is completely different. Like for me, I always try to make things for people I care about. And I kind of want the same in return. That would mean a lot to me more than materialistic things. So I agree with you
Yeah.
on that.
Well, it's because we've had this conversation last time. Time is very precious, and how you choose to spend that time is it speaks louder than words.
100%.
It really does, because the fact that you're choosing to spend your time with someone means a lot. You know, and I don't mean just sitting there on your phone either. I'm talking about actually being engaged, like being in the moment.
Yeah. Quality time.
Yeah,
Not just
quality
regular
time.
time, quality time.
Mm-hmm. So the fact that that's what I'm saying, that for me personally, I would love to walk into a clean house and food, because it's like, I know that you spent that time and effort to do a lot for me, because it's not easy. And you already know, like, that's what I'm saying. So if someone makes something for you, it doesn't even have to be the cleaning or the food, just the fact that someone spent time doing something for you, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. That's why it means a lot. Yeah. Because anyone can just order something off of Amazon. It's so easy, just click. But then if you make something, then it takes a lot more effort. Then you know that you've really put your heart into it.
Yeah.
That's why I think it's important in Asia that you make it yourself. You make the cookies and chocolate yourself, and you can't buy from the store. Or I think that's what the tradition was.
Mm-hmm.
But I plan on doing that for Valentine's Day. I'm going to make some really good stuff. What about you, Amy? What are you making for Valentine's Day? Because I know you're going to make something.
I actually don't know, honestly. I would love to make something, but I don't even know if I'm going to, because right now, my current situation, y'all, to update you, I'm in the process of moving. So James and I are trying to work out all of these things, like trying to choose a house and do the paperwork and try and figure out funds. And so a lot of things are happening at once. So I don't even know if we're going to be able to do anything next week. Not that it matters, because we live in Jersey and everything is restricted this, restricted that. And it's just, yeah, it's not great. So I think, if anything, the most typical thing that's going to happen in my end is I'm probably going to cook a really nice dinner, and not just for me, for the entire family. Because right now I'm currently living at home to save up for our own place. So I'll probably end up cooking a really nice meal for everybody.
Yeah.
Yep.
You guys have to go a little easier on yourselves and your partners. And also to manage your expectations. I kind of want to say that real quick, to manage your expectations for Valentine's Day. It's not the same as last year, you guys.
Oh,
we have to keep it simple.
Oh my goodness. I'm so glad you brought that up. Yeah. Like, I'm not going to go off on a huge tangent, but good point, Kelly. It is true, guys. Definitely lower your expectations. Not to say that you can't do something nice. Yeah, y'all can do something nice, but like, I'm sure I went on vacation and many others went on vacation to elsewhere or whatever, whether it was locally or far away, but it's not the same right now because of all the restrictions and lockdowns and everything. There's not a whole lot you can do. So yeah, don't.
I don't know. No guy's ever flown me out for Valentine's Day. Sheesh. I wasn't even thinking about that.
I wouldn't want you anyways.
My expectations are managed.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to go out anyways for, like, I don't know. I feel like Valentine's Day is one of those one of
No,
those
it's so expensive.
holidays that,
The
yeah,
price,
exactly.
yeah, it's a holiday, so the prices are hiked. That's true. You're right, Amy.
Yeah, but it's like, where would you even, like,
I mean, without the pandemic, it would be a trap.
Here's the reality of it. Not that I've ever done it. I'm just assuming that this happens. So I know that, you know, the whole assuming, like, make an ass out of you and me, all that stuff. But take that away. If you're traveling during Valentine's Day, you're going to be in a hotel room with a whole bunch of other people, most likely having the same mindset as you, alone in a hotel room away from family. Yeah. And it's like, would you really want to be around those types of people at that time? Knowing that they're probably thinking and doing the same things that you are? I don't know. That's too awkward for me. Like, no, that's too weird for me. And then, like, say you went to like a poolside resort, you're gonna be swimming in that pool. Like,
oh.
So it's just like,
yikes, man.
I'm good. I'll travel when it's downtime.
Those Poconos resorts. Oh man. I was thinking about going on a resort to the Poconos because this was for Christmas, right? And I saw there was a deal on Groupon. And when I saw the pictures, it was just like
really cringy. Yeah, I know. Yeah, you know what? We don't even have to really describe them. Just look at Pocono resorts, especially right now. Like, if you guys can, you'll understand what we mean. Because a lot of the resorts, they cater to, it's really awkward. They cater their hotel rooms like, oh, you'll have some privacy and you'll have, it's like, stop being weird.
I expect privacy from a hotel room of any kind, shape, and form. Thank you very much. But thank you for making it super awkward. I guess it's just me. I'm just like really, really traditional and vanilla. When I see this, I'm just kind of like, whoa, hey.
It's a little bit much. So that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't do cheesy. Yeah, I wouldn't travel for Valentine's Day.
Cheesy.
Because it's I'd rather just travel. If I'm ever going on vacation, I don't mind the idea of traveling with my significant other, but I definitely would like to spend time with family and friends. Because the bigger group, the more fun you're gonna have. Not to say that your significant other is boring. It's just the fact that when you're with a group, you're gonna have a lot more fun because it's a lot more conversations, a lot more chats, and those types of things.
That's true. So my dad took a flower arranging class so that when he gets the flowers, he would be able to arrange them so that my mom can take a picture for her WeChat moments. Dedication.
That is pure dedication. James would never do that.
Meanwhile, Amy, you're like, just make sure it's pretty and make sure it smells good.
Make sure it's pretty and smells good. I know, right? Yeah, no, if James did that to me, he would probably give me a macaroni, a piece of paper, and a bunch of glue and say, have at it. Like, he would not do flower arrangements with me. He wouldn't even understand where to start. Like, he would just, what? I'm not even kidding. This is how flower arrangement would most likely go with James. He'd probably be like, okay, well, can I just hand it to you? Do I have to clip something? And be like, okay, well, first we need a base. What do you mean? Well, we need either a vase or one of those like stick things that you put in. Yeah. So it's like one of those. And he'd be like, well, which one's better? I don't know, figure it out. Yeah, but
and then you have to make it yourself.
Yeah, like I would have to go through the entire step and just tell him everything. And by the end of it, I just made my own flower arrangement. It was just done by his hands.
By the way, this is Amy's love language. If she roasts you, that means she likes you. just so we're clear. Okay?
Yeah. That's pretty accurate.
All right.
Pretty accurate.
Okay, so thank you, Amy, so much for sharing with us. I always like hearing about you guys. It's always cute and sweet. So yeah.
We're such dorks.
We are dorks. So thank you guys so much for joining us today on our Valentine's special. Let me know in the comments what you guys are getting your significant others for Valentine's Day. We definitely want some tips and recommendations, all right? And
Yes.
then if you want to shop tea with us, go on goldenlifetea.com, use code Amy20, Kelly20 for 20% off all tea and all tea wear.
Yes.
And this
if you
travel
guys
set.
want to, I was going to say, if you guys want to check out our blogs, Kelly writes amazing blogs on our teaandtalking.com website. So definitely check that out.
Oh, and free samples. If you just want to try out the tea, practice Gong Fu brewing, there's a really easy guide on goldenlifetea.com, and then you can get free samples, just pay shipping and handling at goldenlifetea.com, 200 each month. So 200 free samples are given out each month. So,
Yay!
Yeah.
There we go.
So thank you guys so much for joining
thank you.
us.
Bye-bye.
We'll see you next time. Bye.
Yeah, see you. Bye-bye.